What up, guys? It's your man Elite. Welcome back to the Elite channel. Today I'm going to be covering a TikTok video that's gone viral. It's a video of a woman who tells a story of her sister girl, her girlfriend, who met the quote-unquote perfect man, but just because of one stupid little reason, she decided to dump him.
You know what? I see why the fellas is mad at us. We used to do better.
Right off the rip, I can tell you that nobody over here is mad at you or your friend for making the dumb decision that she made. We don't do that over here on my channel. What we do is we just let you make your own decisions and then sit back and laugh at you when it doesn't work out. And let me just say this. Nobody should be mad at any woman for making any decision that she wants to make. Just don't come back over here and try to blame us when you don't get the outcomes that you want or you think you deserve. I'm going to be covering this from a different perspective, of course. Most of the people covering this viral video are coming from a perspective of getting relationships and things like that in order and getting families back together. And of course, as my guys know on this channel, I don't advocate for relationships on my channel. I think we're way past the point of wanting to deal with these modern women. And I'm going to show you why when I give my analysis of this viral video. But first, take a few seconds to make sure that you are subscribed to my channel. And of course, if you're new, go ahead and hit that subscribe button and subscribe to the Elite channel. Everybody hit that reminder bell so that you know when I drop a new video. And of course, please hit the like button. It helps the video do well in the YouTube algorithm. And fellas, if you would like to support the channel and ensure that I can keep putting these videos out there for y'all and putting that elite perspective out there, go ahead and bless that CashApp. The tag for CashApp is in the description and on the screen right here. And now, without further delay, let's get it.
So I was talking to one of my homegirls not too long ago, and she tells me she's met the perfect guy, right? She's like, he's great, he's handsome, great job, all of that, right? Oh, nobody's perfect, of course, but standard-wise, preference-wise, he met everything. So then later on, she tells me, and she's like, oh, I dubbed him. You know, he's just not right for me. And I'm like, well, what happened? Like, everything was good. Like, you were saying, like, this could have been future hubby. Like you was damn near on the right track for everything. Like, he was just matching up. You know what this woman tells me? She says, his car is old. And I say, okay, what does that mean? What does that mean? She's like, well, he's been in his career for 10 plus years. He should have a brand new car. He should have something from this year. Like, why don't you have a more expensive car? Sis, sounds like he doesn't have a car payment. Sounds like he doesn't have an extra $700-800 that he has to spend a month, or how much ever a car payment is. It sounds like he's saving up money. What's the problem? Does it work? Does it have an auxiliary cord? Does it have heat and air conditioning? That's all I really care about. Do the windows go up and down? Has it passed the inspection? That's really all that counts. But you're worried about it being an old car? Really? You're gonna pass him up because his car is old?
Okay, I'm gonna stop it right there. I can kind of identify with this story, sort of. It kind of reminds me of something that happened in my life. I would say like around the year 2010 going into 2011. Around that time, I was messing around with this chick named Tiffany. Now, Tiffany was a few years older than I am, and we're going to use the word dating, but between me and her was more like a friends with benefits type of situation. And I'll explain why. Let me describe Tiffany to you. I could probably say enough about Tiffany to fill a book, but I'm going to try to make this story as short as possible. Tiffany was the professional type. She focused on her career. She was also at the time a divorcee. As far as looks, she looked kind of like, I would compare her to like Tracy Ross. Same kind of curly long hair and sort of mixed look, about the same complexion. I met Tiffany on a very popular dating site. And as I mentioned before, Tiffany was recently divorced, and she also had shared custody of 2 children from that recently ended marriage with her husband. Her husband was also a professional, and as a couple, they had their stuff together. So much so that Tiffany left the marriage with 2 cars. One, I think, was a Mercedes, and the other one was a Lexus. Now, both of these cars were within 3 to 5 years of being new, brand new. And so Tiffany was definitely used to the finer things in life. And at that time, I was also driving a Lexus, but my Lexus was about 9 years old. I had purchased it when it was 3 or 4 years old. I signed a contract to pay it off in 36 months, but ended up paying it off in 20 months. So at that time when I met Tiffany, I was in the process of trying to buy some real estate, buy an office building for my business. And also, owning a brand new car has always been overrated and overhyped to me, and I've never been into car payments like that. But anyway, when Tiffany and I decided to meet outside of the dating site, we met at a local bar in Long Beach to have a couple of drinks. And from the second we met each other, we knew there was going to be some slapping and clapping going on, if you get my meaning. Because the vibe was right and the connection and chemistry was just there. So we knew what the deal was. And so I can't remember whether it was the first or the second time that we met up for drinks. We ended up going back to my place, and I ended up clapping the cheeks that night. And it just remained that way throughout the whole time of our situationship together. Either she would come to my house or I would go to her house, and we'd have dinner or watch a movie and hang out, and then we'd go do what we do in the bedroom. I mean, that's just the way it was. And it never progressed any farther than that, even though I suspected that Tiffany probably wanted it to be more than that. And in my mind, on my end of it, there were 2 main reasons why. Reason number 1 was because Tiffany traveled for work. I mean, she was always in and out of town. She would fly to cities like Houston, Dallas, New Orleans, Memphis, New York, even to places like Dubai. And then she would be in and out of town. And so, not being a fool, I knew that I wasn't the only one. And of course, I didn't care because she wasn't the only one I was doing things with either. So, and the second reason was because there was a personality flaw I didn't like about Tiffany. At times, she could be stuck up. I mean, most of the time, she was a good person and we had a lot of fun together. But every once in a while, the stuck-up Primadonna in her would come out. And so back to the car thing. One evening, I'm over at Tiffany's house and we're having dinner. Everything's going good. And all of a sudden, out of the blue, she just asked me, "So when are you going to upgrade your car?" I looked at her and I was like, "Excuse me?" She's like, "Well, I'm just saying, your car is a little bit old. Are you going to upgrade it soon?" And I just looked at her and I said, "I will do that if and when I see fit to do that. And that's my business. And it's none of your concern." And so after that, it was never brought up again. And we just continued on with our situationship the way it was, I guess, for maybe another almost a year. But now back to this viral video. Guys, never pay any attention to the standards that women set out for supposedly the guy that they prefer to date. Just strive to be the best man that you can be in life, period. And do it for yourself. And completely disregard whatever they say. And here's why. Remember when this chick said that her friend told her this?
Standard-wise, preference-wise, he met everything.
And she dumped him anyway, ostensibly because he wasn't good enough because of his car. And that just goes to show that their standards and preferences are bogus. The first reason why is because they're perfectly willing to lower or get rid of their standards completely when a guy comes along who they're extremely attracted to. They will open up like an automatic door for that guy. And he won't have to have any type of house, any car. His income doesn't have to be at a certain level. They will just open up and let him do whatever he wants to. And I know that from dealing with over 350 women in my lifetime. The second reason why their standards and preferences are bogus is because women are like grown-up children and their standards and preferences change all the time. Women don't know what they want until they see it. And then 10 minutes later, they don't want that because their standards have changed. I say it all the time. Women are like grown-up children and must be treated as such. And the main reason why the modern woman's standards and preferences are bogus is because of where they derive these so-called standards and preferences from. They either get them from one, the ratchet women they hang around, and that could be their ratchet mother, their ratchet sister or friend, or their ratchet auntie or whoever. Or two, they get them from watching too much TV, like Real Housewives of whatever, Claws, or NBA Wives, and stupid shows like that. Or worst of all, number three, they get their standards and preferences from social media, where they can go to Instagram and TikTok and live vicariously through other women whose husbands can afford $1 million rings and $5 million mansions and such. They see that, and that magically becomes what they want. It's just completely warped. And so I appreciate this woman on this viral TikTok video for airing out women and their bogus standards and preferences. Let's get back to it and see what else she has to say.
Really? You're gonna pass him up because his car is old? Just little shit like that explains why these men are sick of us. Because you could have a perfectly good guy with a good career. He takes care of himself. You know what I'm saying? Like, everything that you could ask for, and it's just not enough. But it's women like me that will love on y'all. I just want to let you know that. Okay? We are out here. Stop paying attention to the materialistic women. That's the only thing I can say to you, man.
Guys, did you see what she did right there at the end? And that's probably the only little piece of this video that I have a problem with. At the end, she puts the onus and the responsibility right back on the man by advising men not to pay attention to these materialistic women. I would correct her by saying that men don't purposely seek to pay attention to materialistic women. In fact, men can't stand materialistic women. The fact is that in the Western world, 90 to 95% of the women out there for men to choose to deal with are materialistic women who have these unrealistic standards and preferences. So what she should have done at the end of the video was tell these women to stop having such ridiculous standards and preferences and stop judging men by what they don't have. And most of all, stop basing what you feel to be a suitable relationship on social media and television and what you hear in your echo chamber of other ratchet women. And the last thing that I would say is that good women, like you claim that you are definitely few and far between. They are a rare specimen. So that's my perspective on this viral TikTok video. I want to send a shout out to the girl Riva TV and a shout out to Kendra over there at Crimson Cure. At least those two are women who are out here trying to tell the truth about female nature. And so I guess that's it for me. But before I go, everybody tap that like button on this video. And if you're new and you're not subscribed, go ahead and hit that subscribe button and subscribe to the Elite channel. Also hit the reminder bell so you'll know when I drop a new video. Leave me a comment in the comment section. And if you would like to share this video on your social media, go right ahead. It's all good. So until next time, this is your man Elite, and I am out.